Welcome to my YouTube channel, Datacraft by Precious. In this video, I'll be explaining functions, and I'll be explaining the SUMIF, the SUMIFS, the if, the and or. These functions are very key functions every Excel user should know. So let's start with the SUMIF. So basically, SUMIF is actually to perform the sum function, but it's based on one criteria. Let's take an example. In this let's say we have 10, let's say we have 1, let's say we have 7, let's say we have 20, let's say we have 3. So now this SUMIF, you can see it actually shows the range and criteria. So the range, which is this, right? Well, now what is now the criteria? The criteria is just talking about the fact that I want to sum all values greater than, let's say I want to sum all values greater than 9. So now this function is going to perform the sum for all values greater than 9. So let's enter, let's see 0. So okay, I made a mistake in I wrote 9, exactly 9. So let's use greater than, because there's nothing that is 9 there, so there's no function exactly 9. Greater than 9. So enter. So this is 30. So it sum all the function greater than 9. That means it didn't sum 1, it didn't sum what? 3. So that's basically the SUMIF function. So that's basically the SUMIF function. It sum all the elements greater than what? 9. That is 10, 20. That's why we got 30. But the one that is below 9 didn't sum them. That's what the SUMIF function is used for. But talking about the SUMIFs, let's go to cell G. Talking about the SUMIFs. The SUMIFs function, which is from the SUMIF, is actually used to sum cells based on multiple criteria. Let us take for example, let us say it is blue, red. Ensure that if you are anything you are using here, take note of it. Any if you're using capital letter, if you're using small letter, make sure you are consistent with it, because it might affect you while you're trying to run the formula, so you not get errors. So let's yellow green, let's say blue red, and let's take one more. Let's just take blue green. Now let's have some numbers there. Let's take 10, let's take 1, let's take 7, and let's take 20. So performing SUMIFs now for this SUMIFs. So what we want to know here now is that we want to sum also, but we want to sum a specific criteria. Now we have blue red, yellow green, blue red. Let's name this blue. Okay, coming. So but now we are dealing with blue green. Let's say we want to sum all the elements we have in blue green, because we have a cell having thousands of numbers, having thousands of let's say brand. Let's say you have Tesla, you have limousine, different brands, but you want to sum values, but everything are scattered together. You can use the SUMIFs because it's actually identify every element that it's actually like blue green. So now let's look at this. So for the SUMIF now, we need to know our sum range first. You can see we need to know our sum range is so this is it. So this is it. This is our sum range. So now we want to know from this range, we want to know which one is. We want to identify blue from G3 to G6. We want to identify blue, comma, you do the same thing here from H3 to H6. I want to also identify green. But since you are dealing with letters, which is a string, you need to like put the quotation signs there. So now you can see now we have SUMIFS. Now we want to know, I want to sum the exact element that have blue and also have what green, like blue green to be precise. So this is the sum. This is the this is G3 to G6. We want to find where we have blue, H3 to H6. We want to find where we have green, and so let's run this 20. You can see blue green is what 20 basically. So it actually sum only the one that has what blue green. So you can go through it again and try it so you can get it. So that's the SUMIFS function. Actually, it's basically for multiple criteria. So now let's talk about the next one. Talking about the if command. So let's try the if here. Let's try the if here. So now basically the if function is actually to check whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another if false. So let us just try something very simple. Let us say this is if. So we want to know if this I3 if it's greater than, let's say if it's greater than this 10, if it's greater than, let's say it's greater than 5. So if it's greater than 5, let it be correct. Let it return correct. But if is lesser than 5, that means it should be what? Incorrect. Incorrect. So close your bracket. So now let's run this. Correct. Can see it's correct because this your what? I3 is actually greater than 5. So as I said if function checks whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another value if what false. I3 is greater than 5 is correct, so it returns what? Correct. So that's basically what the if function does. So now we have explored the if function now, but there's also what we call AND. Let us explore the AND. Yeah, let's explore the AND. So now let us explore the AND, but now we must use the AND with the if. So if AND. So now what does the AND function actually? The AND function returns true if all the conditions are true and returns false if any of the conditions are false. So basically the AND function is for multiple criteria too. So let us take, for example, let us say I want to check if I3 is greater than 5, and I want to also look at if this I5 here is let's say is greater than 10. So now, so let's close the bracket. Don't forget to close the bracket. So comma. So now the first one, now if I3 is greater than 5 and we also have I5 greater than 10, so correct. So if the value is true, let it be correct, and if it's false, let it what be incorrect. So before we launch this, before we launch this, let us observe that from what I did now, I3 is actually greater than 5 here, right? Because I3 is 10, but I5 is not greater than 10 because I3, that means one is correct, one is what incorrect. And I said the AND function return true if all the conditions are what true. You know, one is true, the first one is true, the second one is what false. But one thing about the AND correct is that I said the AND function returns true if all conditions are true. Now, since one of the conditions is false and all the conditions are not true, it will actually return what? Incorrect. I hope you get that. The AND functions return true if all the conditions are true and returns false if any of the conditions are what? False. And now you can see that what? One is true, one is false. So the AND function will automatically what? Return incorrect. Please hope you get that. So now that's a basic function you need to understand. So the last function we'll be exploring is called the OR function, the OR, the OR function. The OR function is made from the AND function. So let us try it. If OR. Now, the OR function is quite different because the OR function returns true if any of the conditions are true and returns false if all the conditions are false. That means if any of the conditions are true, it will actually what? Return what? True. So to even make it easier, let us just use this same function for OR. Consider we use AND now. When we use AND for this, then it brought out incorrect. Why? Because this 10 is actually greater than 5, but this second one is not greater than what? 10. And when we use AND, it brought out false because for AND, one of the conditions are false, so it just brings out false. But for OR, they said the OR functions return true if any of the conditions are true and returns false. That means since one of these conditions are true, that means I3 is greater than 5, right? So guess what it's going to return? It's going to return what? Correct. Please, I hope you get the difference now between the AND and the OR, the SUMIF and the SUMIFS, and also the if function. And don't forget the AND and OR, the if function will be used alongside with them because they're trying to locate something. But the AND is for multiple criteria. The SUMIFS is also for multiple criteria. So I hope you actually get the idea behind all these functions. You can watch over and over again to get it step by step. In my next video, I will be taking a very taking examples also, but mainly my next video will be on cell referencing, the absolute and the relative cell referencing. I will be exploring a lot of stuffs on that. Do well to subscribe, do well to like this video, do well to practice over and over again. So let's say that practice makes perfection. So thank you. See you in my next video.